going on, everyone? So, this upcoming I Know What You Did Last Summer is going to follow the same plot of the original. You're going to have a group of teens that are going to run somebody off the road this time. You see in the promotional shots, even the trailer, goes off the guardrail, off the mountain, right? And they're all just standing there looking at this car that is, person's probably dead. Now, they could go the original route of like that person's still alive, comes back for revenge. I think if we were placing wagers, that's probably the safest bet on how this is going to go. But I don't want them to do that personally. And, it's one thing to use the same plot and premise for setup. It's another thing to basically just make a original all over again, right? Like, this isn't supposed to be a reboot, right? It's supposed to be a legacy sequel. You get, Freddie Prinze Jr., Jennifer Love Hewitt, Julie and Ray, they're back in this film, right? Like, I don't want them to do the exact same movie again. They did that with the series even. The series, in my opinion, was terrible, but it wasn't because they did the same thing again. It just wasn't a good series. But one of the things that I would love to see, though, is they run, another teen off the road. That teen dies. Chaos ensues. Bodies start dropping and whatnot. And then you fast forward and reveal that it's the mother and the father, right? And it's just the good old fashioned revenge. The mom and the dad, right, are like, hey, you killed our baby. You killed our son or our daughter or whatever, or both, right? Like you took my family, so I'm going to take all of you, right? And it's just the good old fashioned revenge. Now, what that does is does a couple things. One, you have multiple killers, which they did in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer with Ben Willis and Will Benson, right? So you have multiple killers in that element of it. You have a husband and wife, which is different, right? You had a father and son. You're sticking with the family trend and stuff like that. So you have a husband and wife. On top of that, right, you have kind of the similar premise, but in a different direction. And then the motive is just good old-fashioned revenge. Now, some might look at it and go, well, the revenge element, right? Like, it's just a typical horror trope. But particularly, I Know What You Did Last Summer, the entire foundation of the franchise is revenge. Literally, that's what the entire franchise is based on. Good old-fashioned revenge, right? So, more than any, right? Because, like, for example, that those that are familiar with me in this channel, right, might know I've complained and had gripes about Scream 6 basically doing the Mrs. Loomis Part 2 route, right? And it's like, how many times, like, and it's just like you're recycling through the, parent wants revenge route, right? So I'm sure there's some that are going to be like, oh, but you're okay with it with I Know What You Did Last Summer. Yes, because one, they haven't done it, and two, the entire franchise is built on the foundation of revenge, right? They haven't done a father and mother route in this franchise, right? And again, it's based on its entire structure, makeup is based on revenge, right? From Ben Willis getting revenge on the teens that left him for dead to, you fast forward to, the son coming back to help his father for the revenge, right? Now you have this installment, right? Where boom, it's the same thing. You're sticking with the revenge plot because that is what this franchise is founded on, right? But other horror franchises, Scream wasn't based on that, right? Like, and multiple films weren't based on that, right? It wasn't just the good old-fashioned revenge factor, right? So I'm okay with I Know What You Did Last Summer following suit because we all understand that that's what the franchise is founded on. Right? Now, I don't think you can just keep doing, like, if they do more films, I don't think you can keep just, this time when they took out the mother and the father. Well, now the brother's back for revenge because you killed his entire, like, at some point, I do think you got to kind of, pivot. You can still keep the motivation, revenge in different ways or elements or whatever. But I think that I think you can do it for this particular installment. Kind of have that. Because, yes, they could do, maybe it's a friend group and one of the friend members are just crazy, right? And, or maybe it like ruined their life And that's just, they just kind of spiraled from there, and they want, which would still be a revenge element, right? Like, they want revenge on their friends for putting them in that situation, in that environment, and making them have to live with that decision. And now they're picking off all the friends and everything like that, right? Like, you go that route. You could have, there's a million ways that you can go about it, which is why I'm excited for this upcoming I Know What You Did Last Summer, because of said mystery. There's so much mystery surrounding this particular film, where it's like, how are they going to approach this? How are they going to go about this? Are they going to have, is it going to be one killer? Is it going to be two killers? Is it going to be several? Is it going to be a whole family? Is it going to be, like somebody in the friend group? Is it going to be, somebody completely irrelevant, right? Like, I hope that they don't go that route. Like, I hope it's not like some random detective or something like that, where it's like, like, oh, that was my cousin's nephew's uncle's kid. And it's like you saw him for 10 seconds at one point. It's like, wait, who is this guy? At least I get in like in the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, you didn't see Ben Willis till the end, but that was purposeful, right? Like, because you were trying to figure out who he is. That was the whole point of in driving force of that film. You were trying to find out who is the killer. One point you thought it was Billy Blue or whatever, and then fast forward and it's Ben Willis, right? Like, so again, it worked in that version. And this one, I don't think, unless you're trying to figure out who that kid is, but then again, you're not going to be some random deputy or something like that. It's going to be, somebody that is left for dead, right? But regardless, I think going the parent route, I think going the, mother-father route would be cool. I think it'd be a cool element. You keep the root of what I Know What You Did Last Summer is intact, and stick with the revenge factor and keep all those in line. And now you have just, the family, maybe one of them survives at the end or something, and kind of sets up another film. Because I imagine if this film has success, they're going to keep pumping these out. Right? I don't imagine that they're just going to stop at this one. But, I get a little creative, right? Let's have some fun with it. Like, I just don't want it to be, it's one thing to copy the plot. It's another thing to basically copy the entire original I Know What You Did Last Summer. If I want to just watch I Know What You Did Last Summer, I can just go watch I Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't need to watch a reboot or a remake that you're pretending is a sequel, but really it's just the exact same film all over again. I really hope that they don't go that route. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Phil, what are your thoughts? Do you like them sticking with the revenge route? Do you want them to go a different route? Do you like the mother and father route, right? Where like this group of kids killed their kid and they're like, okay, well, we're coming for you now, right? I think that works. I think it'd be simple, fits the narrative of the franchise. Boom, let's go. Anyway, as always, let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.